Hey friends, Peggy Hall back with you from thehealthyamerican.org. Facial recognition is rolling out at many airports across our country. And I, for one, am not going to participate in it. Actually, maybe it was a couple of months ago, I brought a video to you about what happened to me when I went to get my passport. And my passport photo, they wouldn't allow me to smile because they said that it was not accessing all the digital points. They literally took my photo 3 times. And about the 3rd time, I had some kind of smirk on my face because I was disgusted to be restricted like this. Like, I can't smile. So that was my first interaction with this facial recognition. But then I also want to talk about the TSA and its gendering program, and I will bring you that information as well. And then I have some questions for you about this facial recognition, and questions that I don't think people are actually asking that we need to raise. Before we do that, let me just bring you a message from the sponsor, and this is over at ketowithpeggy.com. On a little lighter note, we'll talk about weight loss, because a new study reveals that a shocking number of Americans are trying to lose weight. And that number may surprise you. It's around 52% of Americans who are struggling to support their healthy weight management. And it's understandable because, managing weight can be one of the hardest things that we're doing. But this one small trick of taking Keto Elevate may make it easier for you. I do recommend this amazing powder. It's designed to help with your healthy weight management, elevate your energy, increase your mental focus, and improve your overall wellness. And this does it by increasing the ketone levels in your body. And then that in turn helps with your appetite, and also, to keep that balanced, and also helps with a healthy metabolism. So you can get all of the benefits of the keto diet without going on the keto diet. And I love this for all of the health benefits. I hope that you will too. You can try it today by going to ketowithpeggy.com, and you can use my link in the description box below. You'll get up to 51% off plus several free bonuses with every purchase. You get that completely free. It is VIP live health and fitness coaching. You get a new e-report titled The Top 14 Ketogenic Foods completely free with your order over at ketowithpeggy.com. Friends, back in the day when I was actually traveling, I remember coming back from an international trip in 2019, and they had these face scanning devices there. And I don't want anything to scan my face because of my retinal issues. And I've spoken about that on previous videos, but basically I've had some surgeries on my eyes, and they were probably being scanned anyway. I heard about that every time we walk into Walmart or other stores. It's probably happening, but I certainly don't want to stand in front of a computer screen, insert my passport or my ID, and then have that be read out. Let me just describe to you exactly what that is. In fact, I'm going to hop right on over. So it is facial recognition, and you insert your ID card into a slot. You look at the camera, and the screen flashes photo complete, and then you walk through. You don't have to hand over your identification to the TSA officer. Oh my goodness, this is fabulous. This is just going to change how I live my life. I don't actually have to have a person take my ID. This is part of the slippery slope. They're getting rid of people. It's all going to be AI. People think, oh, it's going to be faster. It's going to be easier. How is that faster or easier? The amount of time it takes to insert an ID into a reader, and maybe there's a glitch. And what do they do with that information? And are the photos stored? And what if it really is me, but I changed my hair or my appearance in some way? I don't know, put on glasses, took them off. And that doesn't seem like it's very efficient. So I'm going to show you the person who's behind this. His name is Jason Lim. That sounds like a Chinese name to me. He may have been born in the United States. As I've said before, I have very many lovely, healthy Americans who are Chinese, but not communist. All right, I'll just put it that way. I do draw the line at the Chinese communist. And it's just interesting to me that there are so many Chinese that are in these high positions of security and public health, and our county, agencies and all of that. And I'm skeptical. Here we go. It says the effort comes at a time when the use of various forms of technology to enhance security and streamline procedures is only increasing. Now, the TSA currently says it's only voluntary. Yes, but what happens when it becomes mandatory? So the technology is currently in 16 airports. Listen up, see if it's one of yours that you fly in or out of. Baltimore, that is Reagan National, near Washington, D.C., airports in Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, Denver. It sounds like all of the hubs of the major airlines, right? Atlanta, Dallas, Boston, Denver, Detroit, Las Vegas, LA, including other airports in California, Miami, Orlando, Phoenix, Salt Lake City, San Jose, there we go, Gulfport, Biloxi, and Jackson in Mississippi. So it says it's not at every TSA checkpoint. So not every traveler would necessarily experience this. You put your driver's license in to the slot, it reads it, and then it takes a photo. And then it checks to make sure that your ID is matched by who you say you are, by your face. So the TSA agent can't do that. What? They're not smart enough. They're not capable enough. They can't use their brain and their vision to do so. They're trying to sell us on this, just like they did with all of the self-checkout at Home Depot. By the way, I was at Home Depot the other day, and I'm like, I'm not going in the self-checkout. I'm not doing it. I am going to wait in line. And the lady behind me said, I'm not going to do it either. There were 3 Home Depot employees standing at the self-checkout to kind of help people. And we're like, they're just standing there. We're the ones waiting in line. And then finally, one of them called me over and she took my items and she did the self-checkout for me. I'm just not going to do it. Don't they know they're working themselves out of a job? Maybe they don't have any power to stand up against it. I don't know, but this is going to happen at the TSA as well. Let me show you a picture. Speaking of picture and facial recognition, let's just see if we can have a facial recognition of Jason Lim, shall we? I have no beef with Jason other than he really should use his talents in a different way. Jason Lim is the TSA's Identity Management Capability Manager. He says the program will not only enhance aviation security. How? How does it do that? But it will help reduce friction at security checkpoints because it takes something humans struggle with, repetitive tasks that demand extreme attention to subtle details such as checking IDs. Oh my gosh, I would not want anyone to have to be subjected to that sort of torture of a repetitive task that requires concentration. Heaven forbid, I mean, you know, surgery, surgeons, anyone, aren't they doing a repetitive task of stitching something up with extreme precision and attention and care? But we don't want the TSA officers doing that. Of course not. They can't read between the lines that they're all going to be replaced. Here's my personal story. Actually, it's about the toll roads. Back in the day, I protested against the toll roads in Orange County. I held those signs, I marched in those marches, and the toll roads went in, and I think it was 50 cents to ride the toll road. And where I lived, it actually saved me half of my commute. And I actually begrudgingly did it. And I thought, well, if it's here, I'm going to do it. I'm going to see what it's like. And I got snookered. I got pulled in. I got reeled in by the toll road. And then it went to 75 cents, and then it went to $1, then it went to $1.25. And all along they had a toll road worker taking your money and giving you change. I mean, actual interaction with a human being with cash. Can you believe it? It sounds like some kind of fiction story at this point of the game, in the game. So then they started removing a few of the toll road workers, and you would have to run your card through the machine. Then they replaced the card with a tracker on your car, and then you just drove through. And guess what happened? What are you saying? They got rid of all of the workers? Yes, they did. There are 0 toll agents on the toll roads. At least in my area, it is all done by a tracker. And if you don't have that tracker, they're going to take a picture of your license plate and send you a friendly bill in the mail for you using the toll road. Now they're putting a toll road in Orange County on the public freeway. How do you like them apples? It's an actual public freeway, and in the center of it, they're making toll lanes that I can't drive on unless I pay for it, even though it's a public road. That's how messed up California is, with the highest taxes, gasoline taxes, and they still want me to pay to use the roads. Yeah, no. So it's the same kind of thing. Those TSA agents are going to be eliminated. You're probably happy about that. Maybe I am too, in terms of it's not always a friendly interaction. Back in the day when I was traveling, and let me talk about a couple of more of these little scenarios. And it says that our philosophy for automation is building systems that use machines for what they do best. and use our humans for what they do best. Beyond unemployment. So the TSA has thousands of screening lanes at over 400 federalized airports in the United States. It's expected to be one of the largest deployments that the TSA has ever executed. So Jason, our friend that I just showed you, says what we are trying to do is to determine that you are who you say you are. All right. I realize I'm going to have to do a part 2 to this about the gender conformity of the TSA, because that's going to take a little bit to break down as well. But I want you to remember this phrase, that we are trying to determine whether you are who you say you are. And somehow that's magically going to keep our airports and airlines safe. I don't even personally believe in any of those I don't even want to say the word of people taking control of planes and flying them into buildings. And I don't believe that people tried to get on a plane with an explosive in their underwear or their shoes. That was all designed to control us and to subject you to these very dehumanizing and degrading experiences of standing in the cancer screening booth with your hands overhead like it's some kind of criminal, hands up, or being groped. Gee, what a choice. People spoke out about this years ago, 20 years ago when this came on the scene. It's so highly invasive and a complete violation of our human rights, our civil rights, our God-given rights. And there was not TikTok. I don't even know if YouTube was really around back then. There was no Facebook, but maybe there was YouTube. People were posting videos. They were showing how they were being harassed and groped and molested. And I think hopefully it's backed off a little bit. But the point being, all of this is invasive and unconstitutional. So what I wanted to bring to you is, here's some of their propaganda. All right, really despicable. I'm going to share my screen again. Let me know if you've ever done that. And if you plan on doing it. I don't plan on doing it. All right. I'm going to talk about the weird TSA gender rules. This one, protecting our nation one face at a time. Of course, they're always going to talk about safety and protection. And just this right here, brainwashing you into thinking, well, first of all, she shouldn't be smiling. You can't smile in order to have your facial recognition biometrics used. And here he is again, showing the woman how to do it. Jason Lim, I just find that a little strange that that is a coincidence. All right, am I still showing my screen? No. Let me talk about what I see as the major problems. Add to my list if you would. All right. Number one, it's not faster. Standing there, what if the machine breaks? What if you have a little bend in your card and it gets logged, messed up in there? What about, it's like using a credit card. Sometimes it doesn't work, even though you have money in your account. It just isn't swiping correctly. So no, it's not faster. Number two, it's going to eliminate the TSA agent. So there are people out of a job. Number three, what about the actual physical scanning of this? What is it going to do to your retinas? What actually is happening? Is your brain getting lasers in it? I mean, what actually physically is happening to you when this is going on? What about these images? Are they deleted after they're captured? Who gets to see them? What about all the privacy issues? And I think you already are being tracked as you walk inside that airport. I believe that there are cameras already tracking you, already doing the biometrics. I promise you. I mean, I just believe that's the case. It says that it's optional to do this, but what about when it's mandatory? That's how they work it in. They start out, with the soft sell, and then are they going to have lotteries like they did with the Cooties cocktail? Are they going to give you a little gift card if you do it? And what if somebody like me opts out? What if I say, no, I'm not going to do that. I just want an agent. Here's what they do at the airport. When you want an agent, they make you sit in a, to not go through the cancer thing. Then you, sit off to the side, all the while being radiated by the cancer thing. And they, in my view, intentionally drag their feet so that you're being delayed and it's an inconvenience. You having to wait to be groped. And then you're thinking, oh my gosh, am I going to miss my plane? The flight is boarding. And all the while you're sitting there and everybody's looking at you, and then they do their groping. So that's intentional as well, to make it so onerous that you're just going to, okay, scan me, take everything and take all the pictures. What if there are errors? What if it says, no, you're not who you say you are? Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? I gave you a video a little while ago about the horrible customer service and how I got locked into this thing of weird, I could not get out of it. The technology had me captive. And what if that happens there? You're trying to catch your flight. They say it's not you. You're like, look, it's me. What about hackers? What about hackers accessing your information? What about hackers saying, like, you put your information in there and the machine goes through its algorithm and it says that you stole somebody's car last week. And you're like, no, that's not me. That's somebody else. Well, our machine says it's you because your face is identified with that. I just don't like any of this. And this was the worst for me of all. This was not even voted on in Congress. This was a regulation or a procedure, more likely, a policy, an activity that's being put into place by the TSA. The TSA doesn't get to do this, friends. It has to be voted on by our legislative body. That's the whole crux of my lawsuit, is we are trying to take back our constitutional republic. Only the legislature has this power now. Not to say that they're not going to vote on it, but at least it would be done in the manner prescribed as in our Constitution. They don't have the right to do this. They don't have the right to do any of that. So I'm going to continue to speak out against it. I want to bring this information to you so that you're alert as well. And then you can also alert others. I'm going to tie this one up because it's running a little long. I will bring you a second video probably tomorrow about the TSA and its gender rules. And I'll give you another little personal story about that as well. Always over at thehealthyamerican.org. Get on my free Substack. Click that description box below. It's got all sorts of links for you, how you can contact me, how you can support me, how you can send me a card or letter in the mail. I appreciate you being on board, and I will see you in the very next broadcast.